A dorky photo of a kid in a red sweater vest is paired with unfortunate, embarrassing, and hilarious situations. If you've seen a Bad Luck Brian meme, you've seen Kyle Craven's attempted yearbook photo at Akron's Archbishop Hoban High School.
For a meme that's Bad Luck Brian, I think I have extremely good luck, and it's a very lucky experience that I've had with this meme.
Kyle is far from the only Northeast Ohioan to go viral on social media. 3 years ago, Nisha Godfrey had a pretty basic lunch at Cleveland's East 81st Deli, and a video of the meal ended up exploding online.
It's a chicken salad. It made me pretty popular.
You're listening to Cleveland Magazine's Cleveland Connection podcast, where we take a closer look at the stories and surprising connections to Northeast Ohio in pop culture. My name is Annie Nikolov. For as long as I can remember, I've been pretty fascinated by the people behind viral internet moments, especially when they seem to happen by accident. We've had our fair share of memes and viral videos in Northeast Ohio, and in today's podcast episode, we're catching up with two local people behind two very viral moments and how that instant of popularity online changed their lives forever. After the video of Nisha Godfrey's chicken salad from the unassuming East 81st Deli went online, it quickly caught attention, a lot of attention. Celebrities like Lizzo and Tia Mowry used the audio in their own videos. Nisha began getting recognized in public and got a brand placement deal with Weight Watchers, and even had her audio placed in the outro of R&B singer Ella Mai's song, One of These. We caught up with Nisha to hear more about the chicken salad phenomenon and about her experience with internet virality.
So, of course, it started at the deli. It was just a normal day, like a regular day in my life. And we did the recording and never expected for that to happen.
What do you think it is about the video that connected with people so much that just made it go viral?
Maybe because I'm just a relatable female from Cleveland. That's the only thing I could think of. Because it wasn't like I was trying to be funny, or if I was on there like, hey, y'all, like I was just normal, like, it's a chicken salad. Like,
Yeah, it's so funny to me. How has that changed your life? How has that affected you and your work?
Well, of course, it made me pretty popular. Till this day, even when I just randomly go to the store or randomly go to an event, I have people every day. They'll be like, oh my God, hi. And I just be like, hey, girl, hey. Yeah, definitely made me pretty popular, not even just in the city, but around the world. So it doesn't matter where I travel to, everyone knows who I am. It's just a really good feeling. Like it's definitely changing, considering that before, even though I wasn't popular, but a lot of people knew who I was because I always had like a small presence on social media. So now that it's even bigger, it's just wow.
Now, the Ella May song, did she reach out to you? Like, how did that happen? How did that
She
come up?
did. So what happened was her team had been reaching out to me, and I thought it was spam. So I wouldn't open it because I'm like, why would Interscope Records be reaching out to me? Like, I'm not a singer. I'm nowhere near in that realm. And it took for one day. I came home and I was just relaxing. And I'm like, let me check my hidden requests, because if you on Instagram, if you have messages on your hidden requests, it'll show a number. So I clicked it and I seen her name, and then with the blue check. So I was like, well, why is she in my DM? Like, you got to be real. She's verified. So I open it, and she's just like, hi, honey. My team is trying to reach out. And then I was like, okay, so that explains the email. So yeah, like they definitely reached out, because at the end of the day, that's my trademark. So, you just the legal legalities of it, you can't just release the song. And I appreciate, them for actually reaching out to me and giving me a heads up, like, hey, we got this hot song that we about to put out, and we just want to make sure it's okay with you. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of dope. Okay, sure.
Well, and it's not just the refrain that's sort of inspired by, the chicken salad video, but the actual audio of your voice at the end.
I know, right?
That took me by surprise just to hear that like fading out and then it's you, right there.
And it's funny because you would think that a lot of people, considering that I have posted this song multiple times, that a lot of people would know about it, but a lot of people don't. I still get messages to this day where folks were like, yo, I was just listening to LMA new single and you're on the end. And I'm like, yeah, you're late.
And I know too, Lizzo used the trending sound. Different stars came to the restaurant to try the chicken salad. Like you spurred a movement sort of through this, just a random video that you posted from your day-to-day life. Like
Exactly.
I guess like you weren't even trying to like get attention through it. So like what would it
Right.
like to suddenly have a spotlight on you?
Oh, in the beginning, it was bad. I wasn't used to it. So it was weird, you know. So I had this one experience and I had my nephew with me. I was going to do promo with someone at Beechwood Mall. And I asked them, well, and this is even before I went viral. I just don't like crowded spaces. So I was like, well, do you think it's going to be crowded? And he was like, absolutely not. It's Beechwood Mall. Like, it's not how it used to be. And I'm like, okay. And girl, we get to the mall. I literally made it through the second double door and I was standing by Sephora. And me and my nephew, we just casually chatting and walking. And it was this one guy who stood out. He walked by me and he did a U turn through the door and came back. And he was like, are you that girl from TikTok? And I was like, I am. And he yelled out, yo, it's Niche from TikTok. And I was just like, no. They swarmed me. And you would think that I would have been standing there like, hey. And I was just like, I'm about to have a panic attack. And my nephew, he was about 11 at the time, and he's standing there looking at me. He was like, relax, relax. And I'm like, I can't. Like, I'm relying on this little kid to save me. And I'll never forget, it was this little girl. She was about 9 years old. She got through the crowd somehow. And she was like, are you the girl from TikTok? And I was like, I am. And she ran away and was like, mommy, mommy, it's her. And she comes back with like 15 little girls. And they're all standing there with their phones, like, can we get a video? And it was something about that moment where I just was like, do it for the kids. Because TikTok, is mostly, well, it was filled with kids. So I did a couple of videos with them. And then I had everybody standing there like, oh, I know your mother. And I remember you when you were little. And I was just like, thank y'all for the love. And I turned around and literally darted to my car.
I don't know what I would have done in that scenario. Like if I were in your shoes, that would be such an overwhelming.
Oh, very. A
Yeah.
lot of people don't know. It made me depressed because I was just like, take the video down. I'm not used to this. Like, I can't go anywhere. To this day, I don't do Walmart, Target, anything because at the end of the day, I have social anxiety. So, like, sometimes I get overstimulated. I'm not going to say I don't like it, but when I go somewhere and everyone just stare, and in my head, I'd be like, just speak, say hello, say something to me, like, because the awkward me is just like, oh my God, they're looking at you. What are they thinking? But then I come back to reality, like they're looking at me like I know her from somewhere. But people are scared to approach me, which is crazy because I'm really friendly, believe it or not.
It's given you these opportunities, but it's also got that double edge to it.
Yeah, definitely. And I think what's even more cute about it is when I'm out of town and celebrities see me, and you would expect me to be like, oh my God, hey girl. And they just be like, aren't you Nisha? And I just be like, you know me? I don't know. It's fun. I'm not gonna even hold you. It's fun.
Is there sort of anywhere you'd like to see your social media go or like with this, or is this sort of just a moment that happened that still has these ripple effects in your life?
You know what's so crazy? I'm at a point where I had fun. I've done things I would have never thought that I'd be able to do. And I made it to famous birthdays. If I never go viral again, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with, and it's funny though, because I stay viral on Instagram, but I think I'm just at this place right now where it's just like I came, I conquered. I haven't won yet, but I saw. I definitely would like to get up to 1 million followers because I like engaging with people on social media. It was a time I had fun, and I'm just riding the wave while it's still there, basically.
When you say famous birthdays, you mean the website or?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it was so funny because I didn't even know that I was on there. I actually had an influencer tell me like, "Oh, you haven't made it unless you're on famous birthdays." And I wasn't on there. And I was just like, well, I don't care. I was 39 years old at the time. Child, I ain't thinking about that. Until one day I get an email and it's like, hey, we need an updated picture on you. You're like the most searched person on our engine right now. And I'm like, what? So I went to their website and typed in my name, and lo and behold, I was right there with all my information. I don't even know how they got that information about me.
Oh, wow. The internet is like you mentioned, it's sort of this exciting, incredible space, but it's also a little bit scary, I think, like just how much is out there. And in light of that, with your experience going viral, still getting opportunities, but also seeing the other side of it, what would you want to tell your fans or like people who recognize you? What would you want people to know about what it's like to experience that on your end?
Be prepared. You got to have thick skin because even though the social media is a beautiful place, it is wicked. It's so crazy because I always say, don't read the comments, and I read the comments all the time. But if you can avoid it, don't read your comments because one negative comment honestly can ruin your day, and you just be like, you know what? I don't even want to get back on here. And have strong people around you who can protect you. I don't really feel like I was protected a lot. And I think it's more so because none of us were experienced with going viral or dealing with social media fame or whatever you want to call it. But protect yourself because there's vultures out here. And they will come and use you up until they don't need you anymore and spit you out. I've been through so much. Like sometimes I actually say going viral kind of ruined my life for real, for real. And that's just being honest. Like I can't sustain a job. It's like once they figure out who I am, then of course they treat me differently. And it's just like, oh my God. So now that's why I'm doing different things, to make sure that I can keep income coming in. I still got bills at the end of the day, but just protect yourself. If you ever happen to go viral, please protect yourself and get a lawyer. Get a lawyer.
Thank you for opening up about your experiences, good and bad,
Right.
Yeah.
And if you follow me, I'm pretty open on my platform. I'm not going to sit here and give you a bunch of lies like, oh my God, life is great. I'd be like, oh, life is life in today. But at the end of the day, I'm still going to make you smile. No matter what I'm going through, I'm going to make sure that other people smile. But not only that, sometimes things is out of my hand and I just give it to God and keep it moving. So, yeah.
Well, with that too, I mean, I always see your comments, maybe because I follow you, but your comments on so many Cleveland accounts or just other people or events, like you're always kind of pumping people up, active in the Cleveland scene.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that too.
People pay attention. Cleveland content creators are on fire right now. You got Mario Films, who stays viral. You got Flame on Solo with T-Bone. They on fire right now, stay viral. You got Baghdad. You got Eben, who is the toe goat, who has his own TV show now. It's so many people in Cleveland that's on fire right now. I just want to see everybody win. And I have close relationships with these peoples. Of course, I'm going to engage in content. I don't care if you're a small creator or a big creator. If I see you doing something, I'm going to pump you up. I just want everybody to win. That's it. I've always said that. The rappers here in Cleveland, the acting scene, shout out to Johnny Filmworks and Social Banky, Jillian Hope. Cleveland is on fire for real. No matter the negative you see in the news about us, we have a lot of dope things going on about our city.
While Nisha's chicken salad meme took off pretty much in the moment that it happened, Kyle Craven's took a few years to make it to the internet. His Bad Luck Brian photo was uploaded to Reddit in 2012 as a meme, several years after it was taken while Kyle was in high school. And even today, 14 years later, it continues to bring opportunities to Kyle's life. That includes appearances in festivals around the world and even starring in a commercial that aired during the Super Bowl in 2023. Here's the story behind the meme, told by Bad Luck Brian himself.
I went to Archbishop Hoban High School over here in Akron. And for picture day, I used to, dress up and do a funny picture because my parents never bought any of the yearbook photos. So it was kind of like why not? So, we went down the night before. Me and my one buddy went and got like sweater vests, and he did a stupid picture that year as well. And so did I. And we went up there and I rubbed my eyes really heavily so they were really puffy, and then, made the stupid grin and picked a purple background and, took the photo. So when I got it back, I was cracking up laughing. And then a minute later, my principal pulls me out of the class and says that retakes are tomorrow, and she expected me to be there because she's not going to put that picture in her yearbook. So what we ended up doing was scanning the photo, and then we just sat kind of on my Facebook page for a long time. And then my buddy eventually, would have been 4 years later or so, 5 years later, uploaded it to Reddit or Vice Animals on Reddit and kind of made it exactly that, just a internet meme. So that was kind of how it all started. And from there, kind of organically exploded to what it is today.
Yeah, and growing up, I remember seeing it all the time, just on every social media website. I saw this meme. I mean, for you to see your face everywhere when you go online, I mean, what was that experience like for you?
It was definitely cool. I mean, it was funny. I always looked at it as extremely funny. Meet a lot of other memes, and some of them were very resistant to it and didn't want it and didn't want the fame like that. They were seeking fame because some of them were stock images and whatnot, but a lot of them didn't like that. It was a joke, and I've always looked at it as a very lucky situation I was in, and very, very funny.
Well, it helps too that it kind of went into the whole photo making it sort of a joke. Like if that had been serious, it would have been a different vibe.
Correct. And most people don't realize that, yes, it was a joke and I don't look that awful. And so, it does make a little bit of a difference for sure.
I'm wondering what experiences you've been able to have from the meme. I know you were in a commercial. I know you've had some opportunities through it that were sort of surprising.
So my buddy Ian, I should start with saying this, is that he is still a partner of mine on this. We are 50-50 partners on everything we do for Bad Luck Brian. So he's very heavily involved. We talk all the time. He lives in Boston. I live in Akron. So we are a little bit away from each other, but we usually do go on trips together a lot. And so this, has very much allowed us to keep our friendship going, and in the form of basically free vacations. So we'll go to Japan to go to Doge Day. We'll go to an appearance Las Vegas, or we'll do a commercial shoot for the General down in Atlanta. And so we get to do really cool events. We've been to Slovakia for another appearance, and also was on a billboard out there, so that was really cool. Yeah, it's definitely had some interesting events with it.
Well, and when did the photo initially go on the internet?
That was 2012.
Awesome. So it's been a while. I mean, what is it about it that you think makes it enduring today? I still see it having an audience.
Yeah, so it's funny, in the past 3-4 years, there's definitely been a resurgence in the use of it, and it's really because the group that grew up with that meme are now into adulthood, and they have a purchasing power, and so a lot of brands are seeing that as a useful tool to hit that demographic. So we were in a Super Bowl commercial this year, and just got some nostalgia to it that people like, and so we've definitely seen it come back around recently.
And I know too, there's been a lot of cool fan artwork that I think even you've shared.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, how you've seen the memes sort of inspire artists or creatives in these unique ways too.
Yeah, we've had a lot of cool artwork that's been shown to us, and I've had the ability to buy some of it as well, which has been really cool. So, there was a really famous viral spray painted down in, I think it was, maybe Spain, maybe. And, it was like of my face, on a street, just a random alley in Spain. And that was really cool. But there was also a guy in America that did it, and he used like little pixels to make the files, and then printed them out, and then painted on top. And after he got it, well, first he asked for like permission to use my image, and I said absolutely. And then after he was done, I asked him if there was an opportunity for me to purchase it, and he said absolutely. So yeah, it's been really interesting, and that even bleeds over to the digital artwork too that people do, and you see a lot of. And yeah, it's really cool, and a lot of it's really, really interesting, and people are very talented with it. So.
And you spoke to this a little bit with other people who have experienced being memes, but the downside to it, the other end of it, have you experienced anything, negative about that world, or just being viral on the internet?
No, not really. I mean, I haven't had too many negative experiences with it. The nice thing I tell people is that it's like the perfect amount of being famous, where you can live a normal life and no one bothers you. I have a family, 2 young kids. We go out to dinner. No one bothers us. And then, every so often I get to go do a fun event, or like I'm in a Super Bowl commercial or whatever it may be. And so it's really it's like really the perfect mix of what you would want. So every so often I will get recognized, once a week, twice a week, still here in Akron. But most people aren't, expecting to see Bad Luck Brian in Akron. It's always when I go away, like in Tokyo or Vegas, that people do recognize me because they're expecting to see somebody famous there for some reason, and it's not here. So yeah, negative aspects, there's not too many. There's really not too many.
There's always a Cleveland connection if you know where to look, and you've just heard about 2 of them with these 2 popular internet memes. Thank you to both Nisha Godfrey and Kyle Craven for the conversations, which I very much enjoyed. You can follow Nisha's accounts on social media, and you can see more of Kyle's memes and merch at badluckbrian.com. Thank you to Nihilore for the song Phantasms, which you're hearing behind me right now and also heard at the beginning of the podcast. Be sure to follow Cleveland Magazine online at clevelandmagazine.com, on social media, and in print for more stories like this one. I'm Annie Nikoloff. Thanks for listening to this episode of The Cleveland Connection.